Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. David Schwartz explains why Ripple is XRP's biggest seller. Okay, let's get into it. So, I did a video a little while back in regards to the SEC's filing in regards to Ripple selling XRP, and I did find it quite interesting, and I covered it because there wasn't a lot of people covering it, to be completely honest with you. There really wasn't, and so it was just something that I felt needed to be addressed. And you know, it was one of these things where it was just a bit of a reality check. Now, I will say this: like, I don't trust the SEC. I don't take their word at face value. So I was awaiting Ripple's response, to which I don't really think they adequately replied. I don't think they really addressed that specific concern. I guess this is something that may come now with the current ruling as to whether they're going to actually, you know, disclose the public information about Ripple sales and stuff like that. Obviously, Ripple are hoping to get that sealed. I'm in two minds about it. Obviously, it is Ripple's business. It is really up to them how they want to do their business and how they want to operate. But at the same time, I think it would be good for us as XRP holders just to know, just out of sheer curiosity, and to just kind of know the magnitude of what we're dealing with here. Because one of the concerns is the XRP being sold at such a low price that we really are just going to get dumped on when the prices fluctuate to certain prices, because these companies are going to have so much XRP and be able to make such massive gains, right? Such massive profits. So that's obviously something that's a bit of a concern. But I'm interested to see what David Schwartz has to say here, and I have got some thoughts in regards to this, but I do want to cover the rest of that at the end of this video. So let's see what he has to say, and then we can obviously get into this a bit deeper. So let's get into the article, and then we can discuss this further. Ripple CTO David Schwartz addresses a new wave of concerns regarding the company's XRP sales in Q1 2024. For the uninitiated, Ripple's Q1 2024 report showed that the company sold a whopping 841.5 million XRP in the first quarter of the year. Consequently, Ripple's XRP holdings depleted to 44.94 billion, in brackets 44.94% of the coin's max supply, as of March 31st, 2024. It bears mentioning that Ripple's XRP sales in Q1 2024 marked a 16% decline from the 1 billion coins the company sold in the previous quarter. Nonetheless, Ripple still remains the biggest seller of XRP. Here's why Ripple is XRP's biggest seller. Reacting to this assertion, Schwartz pointed out that Ripple happens to be the biggest seller of XRP because the company holds the most XRP. According to Schwartz, since Ripple possesses a considerable amount of XRP, the only option available to the company, apart from selling it, is to continue holding the coins for an indefinite period. Ripple's XRP holdings. Of the 44.94 billion XRP Ripple held as of March 31st, 40.1 billion were held in multiple escrow wallets, programmed to be released in batches on the first day of each month. At press time, Ripple's escrowed balance has dropped to 39,708,537,355, in brackets 39.7 billion, according to XRP scan data. The depletion stems from the release of 400 million XRP added to the company's spendable account in April and May. Ripple's spendable balance was around 4.84 billion XRP as of March 31st, 2024. Notably, Ripple usually conducts sales from this spendable account to cater to its legitimate business expenses. Ripple's XRP sales stirs concerns. Meanwhile, at the current exchange rate of 53 cents, XRP is down 13.4% year to date, in brackets YTD. Critics have attributed XRP's underperformance to Ripple's continuous sales. They recommended that the company burn all XRP held in escrow to pave the way for a parabolic price spike. However, Schwartz is unconvinced that burning the escrowed XRP coins would positively impact the price. On the other hand, some enthusiasts speculate that the SEC lawsuit is why XRP has underperformed in recent years. The lawsuit, which contributed majorly to preventing XRP from reaching a new all-time high in the 2021 bull cycle, is close to its end. Popular crypto stakeholders, including Schwartz, believe a final resolution would occur this year. The parties have already submitted their final briefs in the remedies phase and are awaiting the final judgment. Okay guys, let's get into this then. So I'll be honest with you, I do kind of sympathize with Ripple here because they are kind of between a rock and a hard place, and I do think with what Schwartz said, I do kind of understand what he's saying, because think about it like they just said, right? They just happen to be the biggest holders of XRP, right? That's just what the deal is. So if they don't sell it and they just hold on to it, people are going to make the whole centralized argument, right? Like, Ripple holds way too much XRP, it's a problem, we don't like it. But if they sell the XRP, which is the only alternative, then it's, why are you selling so much XRP? You're dumping on retail. So you really can't win. Like, they're really not going to be able to please everyone. So everyone is going to have a difference of opinion in this. So at the end of the day, there's no really right answer for them. So that's where I do sympathize with Ripple. I will say this. I do get, like, why people would be a little bit concerned about this, and the reason why is just to go back to what I said earlier about a video that I covered, and it was in regards to the SEC saying that basically that Ripple were giving special discounts to certain buyers, right? Now, I said this before in my video, it's not wrong for them to do that. It's standard business practice to give people discounts and stuff like that, or maybe like free trials, right? I just gave an example of, like, if you was someone who opened a restaurant, you may go on the street with some free samples of the food, right? That's going to cost you money to create those free samples, but you hope that the free samples will entice people to then want to go and eat at your restaurant if they like the food that you gave them as a free sample. So it's kind of a similar thing, right? Ripple could be saying, hey, okay, like, we want you guys to test out this XRP, blah, blah, blah. We're willing to sell it you at a discount rate, so, you know, you'll get it a bit cheaper than some. But the thing is how deep were these discounts? Because if these discounts were really significant, then what you've got to understand is, like, once these prices are going high, these companies are probably going to sell because it's going to be a massive profit for them. And you've got to think, if these are institutions that brought this XRP, we're not probably talking about small numbers, right? We're probably not talking about like 1,000 XRP. We're talking about like millions more than likely, right? So you think about it from that perspective, and it's like, yeah, that could be a concern if they were selling it to them at a massive discount, because it's not going to take much for the price to rise for them to be enticed to sell and make major money. But what does that mean? Well, it affects us, right? Because the selling pressure then obviously comes down on us who are retail holders. And so let's say the price gets to certain levels, you know, we may need it to go a little bit higher because we haven't got as much XRP, so we need, you know, the bigger multiplier effect. But these institutions may be like, yo, we've got enough to clean house here, and then they obviously sell their absolute massive amounts of XRP, which dumps the price, and we could have been waiting for it to get to a higher price. So it can play a part. I'm not going to try and act like that's not the case, but at the end of the day, like, Ripple are free to do this. It's not a bad practice. It is standard business practice. But I think this is one of those things where I'm sure the majority of XRP holders, if this turns out to be like a thing where they really were selling XRP at such massively discounted prices, I'm sure this is where a lot of XRP holders would have liked to have known that beforehand. Now, don't get me wrong, we've all made our decision to invest into XRP, so realistically, it can kind of be put on us as well. Like, we should obviously do due diligence before, you know, investing and stuff like that. And so I don't want to make this out to be like a terrible thing, because it's really not the end of the world, and I don't think it's going to be enough to really stop XRP. We'll see. Obviously, the bull run is in effect right now, so I think that will be beneficial for us, and I think we'll have our time to make our reward. I just don't know how high it will go. But yeah, I can definitely understand the concern. So look, in the end, do I look at this as bad on Ripple? Well, no, because they've not really got a choice. And just a quick one, I've addressed this many times before, but just quickly again, like, when people talk about burning the escrow, like, you've got to just stop that whole thing, because at the end of the day, it's just not something that's going to happen. And let me just quickly put it to you like this, just very quickly. If Ripple were to have their escrow burnt, you do understand that they're just not going to, like, support XRP anymore, right? If you just burnt their escrow and their XRP was gone, how are they going to operate as a business now? because part of the way they operate their expenses is by selling XRP. So if you take away their business, you take away their main coin that they're using to pay for their business expenses and also to use for like cross-border payments, right? Like how would that work then? So if you're talking about that kind of thing, like burning the escrow, like do you think that Ripple are still going to be trying to sell XRP for ODL then at that point? Because I doubt it if they've got no escrow to even give XRP to customers. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, people are not really thinking this all the way through. And also, XLM actually burned a lot of tokens at one point, and it didn't impact the price whatsoever. So, you know, like this is just another thing as food for thought. It's really not a guarantee of just, okay, just massively burn the supply and then it's just going to rocket up in price. It doesn't really work like that. So, there's really no guarantees that it's actually really going to benefit us. You know, I'm not saying that it won't. I'm just saying that we don't know for sure that it will, but it's just not something that's going to happen anyway. So to me, it's just, there's no point in really having that conversation. But yeah, definitely, interesting here in regards to this. Obviously, as I say, in terms of, you know, the way they're selling, for me, what would give me a bit more understanding and how I would feel about this is if I knew what the discount rates were, you know, like just how deep were these discounts, because I think that's something that would make me think about this differently. So we will see if that gets granted, but that could obviously be another time to have a conversation once we get that information, if it is released. But overall, you know, I don't look at Ripple as bad for doing this. I don't think this is wrong, like they're doing standard business practice. I think this is just something where it could be something that unfortunately does impact us in a negative way. So, you know, it is what it is, but overall there's not much we can do, and overall I don't think it's going to stop us from the bull run. I still think XRP is going to have its time, and I think that's really what the most important thing is. If we still get our price action from the bull run, then I'm sure nobody will be thinking about this in the long term, right? Everybody will be happy once they get their money and get their reward. So time will tell if that's what comes to pass. But what do you guys think? Ripple being XRP's biggest seller. Let me know your thoughts, guys. I'll be interested to hear. Thank you very much for watching this. If you did like it, please remember to drop a comment, like, and subscribe. But until next time, take care.